Let's factor by grouping. I know I'm going to use the grouping method because I have a number here other than 1. So what we need to do is we need to figure out numbers that multiply. So we're going to take A times C. Sometimes this is called the AC method, which is negative 60. So I have to think of two numbers that multiply to 60, but they also have to add to 17. Oh my gosh. Well, for this one, I know that 20 times negative 3 is negative 60, and 20 minus 3 is 17. So here are our two numbers. Now we rewrite 12x squared, but instead of writing 17x, we're going to write plus 20x minus 3x minus 5. The grouping method is exactly as it sounds. We're going to group the first two together and the second two together. So the first two, we want to find the greatest common factor. We want to factor it out. So let's find it. 12x squared is 2 times 2 times 3 times x times x. 20x is 2 times 2, which is 4, times 5, which is 20, times x. So what is our greatest common factor going to be? It's going to be 4x. 2 times 2 times x. So I'm just going to erase this little piece here, because now we're going to write 4x in a parentheses. We're going to divide each piece by 4x. 12 divided by 4 is 3. X squared divided by x is x. We're going to divide by 4x here too. 20 divided by 4 is 5. And x divided by x is 1. They cancel. Let's look at the second one. So we have negative 3x is negative 1 times 3 times x. And then we have negative 5. Well, that's negative 1 times 5. So in this case, our greatest common factor is negative 1. So we're going to write negative 1 parentheses. I'm going to erase my little underline here. So I'm going to divide by negative 1. Well, negative 3 divided by negative 1 is 3x. Negative 5 divided by negative 1 is positive 5. Now, what's really great about this is these two match up. If they didn't match up, well, we'd have a problem there. We'd have to go back and see what we did wrong. But they match up. So we're going to keep going. Now, we're not done yet. We have the match, 3x plus 5. So if I cancel out 3x plus 5, or I factor it out, I end up with 4x. Okay? If I factor out 3x plus 5, I end up with a negative 1. And that turns out to be our factored form. But now let's check it. Now let's check it just to make sure. So I'm going to rewrite it, 3x plus 5 times 4x minus 1. So we're going to FOIL, F-O-I-L. So first, 3x times 4x is 12x squared. Outside 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x. Inside, 5 times 40x is plus 20x. And 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. We're going to collect like terms, so we end up with 12x squared plus 17x minus 5, which is exactly what we had for our original. So this is factored form. And you did it. Good job.